Alrighty, so Apple News. I don't hide from the news. Neither did Neville. It's time for you to explore how big you are. I also don't obsess on the news, by the way. I know people that do that. Think about it. They hide from the news because they feel small. Or they read nothing but the news because they feel small. Anyway, I just give it a look. Sometimes I find things interesting. So there's the slap heard around the world. You probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's fine. Good on you. Somehow it managed to make it here. See, here's what I say. Ready? I just read a little article on this. I can't believe it. There's multiple articles on Apple News about the slap heard around the world. Was somebody right? Was somebody wrong? Was somebody victimized? By the way, I know people who will spend hours watching the video, reading what everyone says, stating, restating, and clarifying what they think, what they feel about what happened. And here's the key. Ready? 2 words. What happened? See, what happened is the state of passive imaginer. What happened? Well, there you go. See, I've had people in my life tell you, well, I was doing great. Let me tell you what happened. I'm not a fan of what happened. I'm a fan of, let me tell you what I'm giving life to. Let me tell you what I'm imagining. Because that brings it home. I am imagining. It's not the words. But I want you to notice something. It's not about walking around saying, I am rich, I am rich. Well, let me tell you what happened, right? That global financial crisis came along and it took all my money. Rightio. So there's this monster out there, the global financial crisis, or the war in the Ukraine, or the mask manufacturers, or somebody, right? You know, Donald Trump, Sleepy Joe. Dan the Man if you're in Australia, in Victoria, Australia specifically. But people get so worked up about this. They waste so much time. Let me tell you what happened, right? One guy said something. Somebody else got upset. Somebody else was hurt by it. Somebody else has an opinion about it. Somebody else, but nobody knew. And in that amount of time, you could have imagined up something lovely. You could have enjoyed something lovely. I'm really kicking around what the next phase for Dream Driven Day is going to be. We've been having a lot of fun with it. We're halfway through, almost halfway through. We're a third of the way through. Anyway. We're getting close to the middle of the current round, and I'm deciding what to do next with it. Do I do it the same? Do I wait a while? And again, I'm getting people wanting in for the next round. People saying they want to do it again already. But here's the deal, guys. In my dream-driven day, I live from 3 primary states. If you want to dive into something today, manifestingtothemax.com. We dive into identity-based manifesting. Remember, anything I share here is a bumper sticker. Right? Bumper stickers are great, right? Going to Portland, put that on your car. Keep Portland weird, put that on your car. But you still got to make the trip, right? I want you to have the experiences that change the experiences. So, identity-based manifesting, a big part of manifesting to the max, actually one of the core parts of it. But the state of loving teacher doesn't have to be positive about this slap heard around the world. The state of loving teacher notices teaching opportunities. See, you get to be really honest with yourself. You're not being slapped by 3D reality. I got that one too. Right? Dear Mr. 20, 3D reality keeps slapping me in the face. I can't tell you how many times people tell me that. And I'm glad they do. Because I tell them it's not 3D reality. I know Neville used the term once or twice. I notice he didn't keep using it. Because 3D reality is the tail of the dog and you wag or you walk the dog. You walk the dog. You walk the dog. You don't ignore it. You walk it. You lead it. Quote unquote, physical reality. Even mental reality. What you're thinking. Remember, thoughts are just virtual things. They actually don't create anything. I know someone's going to want to argue with me about that. They feel strongly that thoughts do. Well, imaginal experience changes physical experience. Notice you have an imaginal experience about thoughts, about things, about dogs, about puppies. Imaginal experience leads physical experience. And here's one thing we notice, and I talked about this the other day on the show. Joe Weldon mentioned how much this benefited him. The state of active imaginer. I've got 7 states that I'm just beginning to talk about. These are the states above the states. One of them is active imaginer. And Neville talks about this. You can actively imagine or passively imagine. People tell me that they can't feel it real. You're feeling it real all the time. The thing is, you're feeling it real mostly from a passive imagining. Slap heard around the world. Well, if that was my wife, I would have done what he did. Or if I was her, I would be offended. I can't understand why somebody on stage would do that. I wouldn't do that. And they get all involved with it. And they wonder why their day goes to shit. In Dream Driven Day, one of the things that we talk about is opportunity cost. I stole that from Warren Buffett. I bet you more people have talked about the slap heard around the world than have moved into the state of Warren Buffett in the past 48 hours. See, my question is, what do you want more of in your life? Do you want more slaps? You want more useless entertainment? Or what do you want? What do you desire? You could have distraction-driven days. The slap heard around the world. How many articles am I going to read about that? Not many. But here's the thing. Let me get back to this. This is important. I'm weaving it in slowly and subtly. The state of loving teacher has that show up at the buffet. See, I can choose what buffet I walk into. And I can choose what to put on my plate. And I can choose how to eat it. And when another article shows up about the slap heard around the world, I realize as a marketer, I need to address this. As a loving teacher, I need to address this. Those are 2 different states. And the state of loving teacher goes, radio. Let me ask you a question. How much of your day have you wasted on that? I don't care if someone was right or wrong. I don't care if somebody feels victimized or not. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your day? Because I can guarantee that there are relatives that I call right now, and they say, did you see that? Did you hear what's his name? Oh my God, that's so horrible. And the next thing you know, 10 minutes have gone by. We could have talked about something lovely. We could have shared an experience. We could have imagined up something lovely, even better. But I keep seeing his face. I keep hearing those words. Let me tell you what happened is not a lifestyle that I am going to tell you to choose. Let me tell you what I got given to me. It's like the cards are passively dealt and then you're done. You don't want to know why people love poker? People love poker because you get dealt some cards. Then you get to make some decisions. And then the fun begins because everyone else is making decisions. It's called flirting. And I know someone's going to say, but I want to win every game. If you could win every game. By the way, if you imagine it being the poker guy that wins every game, no problem, always dealt a perfect hand every time, you'd be bored. You'd be bored. Heaven's pretty much done. Right? Yep, all done. Infinite. Perfect peace. Boring. What do we do? Let's descend. Let's experience something. Let's go have some fun. Let's so fall in love with some states, some experiences that we forget who we are and how this works, so we can remember who we are and how this works. So let me get back on target. Ready? Identity-based manifesting. The state of loving teacher, when he comes across the article, goes, that's a teaching opportunity. The state of loving teacher, when he comes across that article, goes, if I make a podcast out of this, people are blessed. The state of loving teacher, having had nailed as Joseph Goddard before getting out of bed this morning, when he sees the article, discovers that's the perfect podcast for today. How much of your life are you filling up with entertainment news, otherwise known as distraction? How much of it are you filling it up with dreads? And welcome to another exciting episode of CNN News. Some shit happened to someone someplace and you should feel bad about it. Maybe it'll come to your neighborhood too. Anyway. What's that other one? Oh yeah, dreams. I can tell how much you're giving life to your dreams. Because when you are giving life to your dreams, when you're doing what we do, you don't have time for endless hours devoted to distractions and dreads. Stop slapping yourself silly. If you got gold today, easymanifestingmethods.com. That's that cool little gift course, right? easymanifestingmethods.com. When you go there, when you do that, oh my God, talk about good fun. 7 little videos, you get one a day for 7 days. Why don't you get them all at once? Because I want you to do them. Right, they're only about 10 minutes, no big deal. And you get the daily email. I send out gold every day, pseudo-random goodness, just like this podcast. Next, if you want a program, normally we talk about manifestingmasterycourse.com because that's the backbone of all we do. Today, I'm suggesting, here's the thing, I don't have to go to war against the news. I don't have to go to war because the state of loving teacher, an identity, plucks something out of there to give to you. If you got gold today, that's how my life works. And that's why we put together manifestingtothemax.com. It's a very different course compared to the others. And again, it's still only $97. I should raise the price. Big time. But go get manifestingtothemax.com while it's still $97. And finally, sharing is caring. Those who share the show, I appreciate that. Those who share their lives with us, I appreciate you. Because that's where the podcast comes from. That's where the loving teacher gets his smiles from. Sharing in the love, the impact, the ripples going forward. Have a lovely day. See ya.